Many years ago, we had a great movie with George Clooney starring in it called The Perfect Storm. And just recently, one of my sales students made the perfect sales storm. And what's interesting is everyone in the sales industry, every day, they wreak havoc on their sales processes. They overthink things. They don't have systems. There's no automation. And they wonder why their conversion rates are so low. And what we're about to share with you is a live actual sales call that just recently, because the sales student put those hundreds of little things together all at one time, created the perfect sales storm. And as you read this article, you are going to find that pre-work ahead of your appointment will save the day. The things that you do during the appointment will save the day. Your public speaking and presentation skills will save the day. Your confidence will save the day. And this, again, there's hundreds of little moving targets in each sales process that we all do out there that will create the perfect sales storm. So let's just kind of look at this. Let's break this down succinctly. So the customer says, I want to think about it. Is that a new objection to anybody? No, it is not. But watch how my student handled this. She says to him, what's there to think about? Now, I'm going to tell you right now that most of you watching this video are, oh my God, that's so bold. It's bold because you need to work on your confidence. When you're confident, you don't have an issue with saying, well, what's there to think about? And as the customer is sitting there bumming, well, doesn't know what to say, she says, come on, you can tell me. We might as well work this out now. You need help, and we need to get started now. And he's like, oh, typical person, ego kind of client, I need to check you out. And she says, well, I have a photo of my driver's license. How about calling the state board? And again, he's ducking. Well. No. I want the name of a client that has done business with you. And she says, well, what does city policeman do? And by the way, the city policeman is her brother-in-law. Okay, I mean, this, again, the perfect sales storm, this all lines up together. And then he bums her and says, well, he's going into all the excuses, okay? And then watch what she does next. She looks over on his desk and finds what we call a fast facts profile sheet. Now, how in the world did the fast facts profile sheet get on that guy's desk? Because she, my client, my sales student, didn't bring it with her. No. She mailed it ahead of the appointment with another top secret weapon that we use. So what does she do? She gets the profile sheet out, and then on his computer, what does she do? Is she takes him to her website, her business website. So in front of the customer that's, I need to think about it, he has a profile sheet in front of him, and he has her website. And I'm going to ask all of you that are watching this video, what's more believable? The salesperson pontificating, or is her marketing pieces and her website more believable? And guess what? We know what the answer to that is. The website and her marketing pieces are more believable. Then, quick thinking. She shows the customer the testimonial that's on the profile sheet, and it's one of the testimonials that are on her website. And without asking for permission and taking command of the room, because it is her audience at that point, she whips out her cell phone and she calls the client whose testimonial is on the website. His name happens to be Sydney, or short for Sid. And lo and behold, of all things, Sid answers the phone, and my sales client says, hey, I've got this guy here that I'm speaking to. Would you mind just taking a moment and answer his questions? And he said, certainly. But here's the key thing. Old Sydney, who you guys should get to know intimately, is on a backhoe at the moment of this phone call. I mean, you couldn't create more of the perfect sales storm with everything lining up. And so what does Sid do? Is Sid gets on the phone call with the reluctant customer who's wanting to think about it. And he says, you know what? She saved me a ton of money in what she does in her industry. And if you let her get away, it will be the worst thing that you've ever done, or something to that effect. So the customer who is saying, oh, I got to think about it, immediately hangs up the phone and says, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to sign. Let's go ahead and execute the agreement right now. Now, what each of you need to know here is that at this point, is my sales student had discussed products and different services, but she never even spoke about price at this point. You need to understand, each of you watching this video, that that customer didn't buy the product or the service. What he bought was her. They got connected. But to get to that intimate connection where the customer says, I need to think about it, you have to do pre-work ahead of that appointment. And she did just that. And that at the appointment, you have to be confident. You need to stand tall. You need to be knowing what it is that you're doing. You need to bring third-party evidence to bear. Let other people spread your message. Let other people say your message, because they're more believable than you. And not only did this work into a great sale for the salesperson, but he bought all the products and services that she had to offer. Again, without discussing price ahead of those. He signed up and he was done. And actually afterwards, he even expanded the next day some of those products and services. So, you know what? Making that perfect storm, it just doesn't happen. And if it did just happen, it's because you get lucky. Now, luck is not a bad thing in sales. But in this case, it was a very methodical approach to doing the pre-work, handling that objection that everybody gets every day. But you got to remember, it's not one thing. It's not a magic bullet. It's the hundreds of little things that come together at one time. So with that, I wish each and every one of you the very best of success. Please utilize chuckbauer.com. There's a ton of resources there for you. And the last thing I'd like to give you as a gift is please go to chuckbauer.com/CBS. And there's a graphic there that we use in teaching people how to communicate with clients and customers and public speaking skills and the key things that they need to do in every presentation, whether it is a WebEx presentation, whether it is a face-to-face presentation, or whether it is a phone call presentation. All those things need to line up in the CBS scale. Just stay in the green zone. Remember that. Stay in the green zone. So again, best of success. I hope to hear from you soon, and bye-bye for now.